Hello everyone, my name is Lorenzo Smith. My title is on the use of body language in speeches, and here I will provide 4 key points. I will also provide guidance by giving examples of what to do and what not to do. Okay, here's my first point. The audience will judge you on what you say and how you say it. Imagine I was describing a circus to you. Okay, here's a bad example of me using my hands inappropriately. When I was at the circus, I saw these clowns wearing Joker makeup, along with these huge, immense elephants roaming across the circus with people looking everywhere at them. Then I saw these huge tents with people inside of the tents, along with these lions with their manes extending across all directions. Okay, so weren't my hands a distraction? Well, clearly yes, they were. So here's a better example of me using my hands appropriately. When I was at the circus, I saw these clowns wearing Joker makeup, along with these elephants, along with these huge elephants. Also, I saw these huge tents with lots of people inside of them. And then finally, I saw these lions with their manes extended across all directions. So, don't let your hands be a distraction. Now, the second point is that eye contact is very important. Here's one example of how I'm using my eye contact not appropriately. Now, as you start to cook eggs, you would crack the egg. You would crack the egg using a spoon or whatever, and then put the egg in a bowl, and then stir it until the egg mixture is round. Then after the egg mixture is round, then you put the egg mixture into a bowl and wait for it to heat up, and then you use a fork to make the eggs. Then when the eggs are ready, you put the eggs then when the eggs are ready, you use a spatula to put the eggs on a plate. All right, now that was clearly a bad example of me using eye contact not appropriately. Here's an example of where I use my eyes appropriately. Okay, now the first step for making eggs is that you use a spoon or some sharp surface to crack an egg into a bowl. Then you use something to mix the eggs until the egg mixture is round and smooth. Then, when the egg mixture is smooth, then you put the egg mixture into a pan and then wait for that mixture to get really, really hot. Then finally, you use a fork to make the eggs. Then when the eggs are ready, you can begin eating your eggs. All right. Now, in some cultures, pointing fingers like this can be really offensive. Let me give you one example through driving. Now, do not tailgate while driving. Now, I know it can be tempting to tailgate, but just trust me on this one. Do not tailgate while driving, because you don't want to get too close to the driver or bump the driver's car. Now, also, do not text while driving. Now, especially for young people, I know it can be really tempting to just text and drive simultaneously, but just don't. Because if you do, I mean, you could cause a crash. The same thing goes for drinking while driving. I know it can be really tempting to just drink while driving, but just trust me, do not drink while driving. Otherwise, you can get really distracted and you can lose your point of view as to what's going on with the road. Now, also, don't play any loud music in the car. I know loud music can be really enticing, but just trust me on this one. don't play any loud music in the car, because that can also distract yourself from driving. Now, also, don't drive if you're really, really sleepy. I know it can be tempting to also drive, especially if you're trying to make it through a long night. But we all know that our minds need the rest. So just trust me on this one. Don't drive if you're really, really sleepy. Now, point number 4 is all about not fidgeting and scratching while describing CrossFit. I'm going to give you a bad example of fidgeting and scratching while in CrossFit. Now, in CrossFit, there are many exercises that one can do, such as doing push-ups, pull-ups, leg lifts, military presses, leg lifts, and there are other types of exercises that one can do. Okay, now as you just saw, that was a terrible example of me describing CrossFit while fidgeting and scratching. Here's a good example of me describing CrossFit while not fidgeting and scratching. While in CrossFit, one can do push-ups, pull-ups, leg lifts, military presses, curls, and other types of exercises designed to benefit him or her. Okay, well that was my good example of me describing CrossFit while not fidgeting and scratching. Thank you, and please pay attention to everything I said.